Julian McMahon, the actor who stole hearts as the brooding coal turner on Charmed, sadly passed away on July 2, 2025, at just 56 years old. His death from cancer comes nearly a year after the loss of his Charmed co-star, Shannen Doherty, who died on July 13, 2024, at 53, also after a long fight with the disease. It's a heartbreaking coincidence, and an even more tragic twist when you realize that these two shared more than just screen time. They once dated during the height of the show's popularity. Their romance reportedly began during season 3 of Charmed, back in 2001, the same season that marked Shannon's dramatic exit from the series. At the time, rumors swirled about behind-the-scenes drama, particularly between Doherty and fellow cast member Alyssa Milano, who played her on-screen sister Phoebe. Shannen portrayed the eldest Halliwell sister, Prue, and when she left the show, fans were stunned. She was later replaced by Rose McGowan as long-lost sibling Paige. Now, imagine how tangled things must have been. Doherty dating McMahon, who played Phoebe's love interest, all while tension brewed off camera between her and Milano.
You can always tell when Julian and Alyssa have a scene together because she sort of comes in like an even better mood and sort of runs around the set going like, I get to kiss Julian. We're like, okay.
And to top it off, Julian was also in the middle of a divorce from Baywatch star Brooke Burns. That Charmed set, it was less magic and more mayhem.
I mean, are there times that were rough? Yeah, I mean, I think that, when you work that closely together, there's always going to be times that are rough.
Years later, in a December 2023 podcast episode of Let's Be Clear with Shannen Doherty, Shannen and her close friend and former co-star Holly Marie Combs finally opened up about that chaotic time. Holly even brought up Shannon's relationship with Julian while recounting how the dynamic on set shifted. Brian Krause, who played Leo and Alyssa, were dating at the time when this all went down, which, to me, us being completely oblivious, to me was the worst part, Combs said, where it was all sort of part of this plan that was happening and unfolding through over months. It was months of that year. You were dating Julian, so you guys were off in that world. Brian was off with Alyssa.
I am so happy with him. He is so delicious. The women are gonna freak out.
And as if things weren't layered enough, Doherty and McMahon starred together in a TV movie called Another Day that same year. In the film, they played love interests once again, art imitating life. But by the time the movie aired, their real-life relationship was reportedly over.
If you've ever wondered if it's possible to be in love with two people at the same time, the answer is yes.
Shannon's love life, much like her career, had its share of highs and heartbreaks. The actress has been married 3 times, but before that, she had already taken part in 2 broken engagements. Her first one to health club owner Chris Fufas lasted 10 months before she shortly moved on to the second one, this time with Max Factor, Dean J. Factor.
I just try to act normal and believe that, life is, you just move on.
The heir filed a restraining order against Doherty in May 1993. She threatened to shoot me, he said. I heard the chamber pulled back. At that point, I hastily exited the house through a back door. He also accused Shannen of trying to run him over with a car, throwing a log through a window to get into his house, and threatening and assaulting him verbally. Doherty's previous ex-fiancé even chimed in on the situation, saying, I could have predicted this before it happened. Things move along smoothly for a while, and then something snaps and she goes into another drive. Rage. Even if Shannon's engagements ended in such a disastrous way, she was able to move on quickly.
I think it was very easy for me to be in that mindset because I was fairly sheltered.
Only 6 months later, she married actor and singer Ashley Hamilton, whom she had only known for 2 weeks. At this point, Ashley and Shannen were only 19 and 22. The actress filed for divorce 5 months later. Could their young age have something to do with their split? In 2002, the actress married poker player Rick Salomon. This marriage was also short-lived since the pair had it annulled only 9 months later. Rick Salomon would go on to film an adult tape with Paris Hilton and marry Pamela Anderson twice. After these short-lived engagements and marriages, Shannen didn't marry again for a long time, and many wondered if she ever would.
I mean, I learned
so much about myself. I learned so much about the world and about people in it.
That's when the love of her life, photographer Kurt Iswarienko, came into her life. The couple met in 2008 when he was assigned to photograph her for a magazine. At the time, Kurt was married to another actress, Taryn Band. The photographer ended up filing for divorce, which Band did not take well. She told Star magazine that Kurt was dead to her. Taryn's mother even accused Shannen of breaking up the marriage. What a dramatic end. After divorcing, Iswarienko went on to date Doherty until the couple married in 2011. The beginning of the actress and photographer's relationship was broadcast in Doherty's short-lived reality show, Shannen Says. They even aired the wedding in the season finale. After marrying, the lovebirds' relationship continued to be happy, peaceful, and far apart from Shannen's drama-filled previous ones. However, in 2015, tragedy struck. The TV star was diagnosed with breast cancer.
It was so weird for me to be diagnosed and then somebody who was, seemingly healthy to go first. It was really shocking.
The actress revealed to People magazine how she shared the news with her husband. "I called him, which was horrible of me," Shannen explained. When she got home, her husband told her, "We are going to get through this. You're strong and you're powerful and you're not going anywhere. You have so much to do in your life. We are going to get through it as a family." One would think dealing with a deadly illness would have made it harder for the actress's marriage to work, but instead, it brought Shannen and Kurt closer together. Doherty told People magazine, "Cancer solidified us. Kurt and I have a much deeper appreciation for each other now." The charmed alum also explained how different her marriage was prior to her diagnosis. "We were definitely going through some growing pains. We would lock horns on things, and instead of resolving it, we wouldn't speak for a couple of days. We are glad going through such a hard disease allowed the couple to work on their issues." The star has even talked about how the disease has reinforced her relationship.
My marriage was always strong, but it's made my marriage, 1,000 times stronger. I could not have gotten through this without my husband.
However, the performer has filed for divorce, and it seems like a third person was involved in the split. Although Doherty went into remission, her cancer returned as stage 4 in 2020. At this stage, the disease is considered incurable, which meant the actress would be in treatment for the rest of her life. Shannen opened up about how her diagnosis helped her realize that she didn't need to be sexy all the time for Kurt to love her. She revealed that her husband was very supportive of her and called him "my rock in every possible way." With all these beautiful words, the actress and photographer's marriage seemed picture perfect. However, everything changed in late April 2023 when Doherty filed for divorce after 11 years of marriage. According to the divorce filing obtained by People magazine, the couple had been separated since January and cited the usual irreconcilable differences as a reason for their split. Shannen's representative released a statement about the situation, saying, "Divorce is the last thing Shannen wanted. Unfortunately, she felt she was left with no other option. You can contact Kurt's agent, as she is intimately involved." Kurt's agent was a woman named Collier Grimm, who founded a boutique artist management agency. Doherty's representative named both this woman and her place of work in the statement. The actress was requesting spousal support and also asked that Iswarienko doesn't receive any. The couple reportedly didn't sign a prenup when they tied the knot. Before news of the divorce broke, Shannen had shared a message on Instagram that said, "The only people who deserve to be in your life are the ones who treat you with love, kindness, and total respect." Iswarienko and his agent did not immediately return requests for comment. Meanwhile, sources told TMZ that Shannen was not well health-wise. The insiders were describing the split as very acrimonious, which makes things all the more difficult. What do you think happened to make everything turn around so quickly? Sadly, we may never get all the answers. In 2024, the world said goodbye to Shannen Doherty. The iconic star, who inspired a generation on-screen and off, passed away after a long and courageous battle with cancer. She was just 53. At Rumour Juice, we remember her not just as Brenda or Prue, not just as the bad girl of the 90s, but as a woman who lived boldly, loved fiercely, and never stopped fighting for her life, for her truth, and for her story. Rest in peace, Shannen. You were one of a kind.